Well, like everyone is still. Let's get Barrister here to come tell us about legal matter. I'm because on Wednesday, Barrister Day again. Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning, Tifero. Tifero, you're looking nice, so.
Thank you, sir.
No be small.
Barrister, good morning.
Good morning, Tifero.
How you doing? Are you cool?
I bet that thing we do with that before the show come. That government, no government. If you don't make it, make
Barrister, please. What do you gain? I don't know what Barrister is talking about, though. I just welcomed you. That was all I did. I don't know the rest.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
And I did.
Very well. How you doing, Barrister?
I'm very good.
Why are you acting cold?
Okay.
Are you cold?
No, I cannot
okay.
be.
You're good.
I'm hot.
Okay, like that.
All right. We did for where we stopped last week about the right of children or spouses in a failed marriage. Okay. It's just because I received some questions I would like to answer, and if possible, round up on that topic today. Some of the questions I received, I've written them down. Some of them I couldn't retract them on time. My boyfriend or baby papa has not proved supportive in our child's welfare. What do I do? I think we have answered this bit over the time, but because I said that because it is not a legal marriage, so you cannot by itself say you're going to go to court because of that marriage. But you can go to the welfare of your community. And by the way, many local governments, I think it's basic part of every state. They have Ministry of Social Welfare, Youth, and something like that. Yeah. So they usually have those welfare offices in local governments mostly. So you can go there to ask that this man should give you support. And if he doesn't stop, then you probably can get a lawyer to say, okay, I'm not going for divorce. I just want a judicial pronouncement that this man should be responsible for the upkeep of the child. And to that extent, it's very possible if you have such a judgment, in trying to levy execution, in trying to say you want to enforce that judgment, you can take it to the employer of that man if you get work, to say that you have a court order that, so that the court, you are doing attachment of the man's salary, so that they can give the employers, okay, anytime when you get salary, may commode this one because
what if the organization don't agree to that? Do they have any business?
Or like if the woman know where the man they work, you can even add that company to that suit, so that suit will be directed to that company. Or if you can't leave that company, consider that. So any lawyer will help you now. We come talk say that particular employer or any other employer where the man gets. And sometimes the man goes, okay, I don't want to get employer more. I don't want to work. but so it's up to you now. So but there are many ways. I need to say this because sometimes I don't see when such women will go fight the man for where we work or fight him. Sometimes enter for workplace. Enter, sometimes even cause damages. We pass it where they do for. So instead of trying to do self-help, make you just take my advice. If they're slow, but more or less.
I think that's what the problem is. Most times, usually very slow.
But by the time you go in work, go disgrace them, tear in cloth, do all those kind of things. They help. They help matter at all. Most times, you go even make they sack the man from work. When they sack the man from work, the money we can look for.
Can't see him.
So make you try that for the body. Okay, and my husband and I are always quarreling. Sometimes ago we were separated. After a while I had a relationship with someone else. Shortly after that relationship, or probably because of that relationship, my husband came with his people for reconciliation. My problem is that I'm pregnant, but I'm not sure if it's for my husband. What is the legal implication of this? What can I do, sir? First and foremost, very sober, I must tell you that if at all there is a reconciliation going on, this one can truncate the whole thing, because in law, adultery is a basis for divorce. And
They were having issues already before.
but that doesn't mean that they were divorced. They were, they can have issues. What the law, frowns at is irreconcilable difference. When the difference cannot be reconciled. Of course, many relationships get up and down. There's no perfect relationship. Sometimes you even leave your family. I mean, leave your. I've seen it before. I've seen a place where a woman left her husband and went to somewhere else and stayed there for about 6 months until the man sober.
Wow.
Came back and come and beg. And
Barrister, I was thinking adultery now when I see they under your roof, because as of that time we'll be separate. I think you were living your life and I was living mine, and that's been happening. So I feel the main deal, or whatever it is that would have been a solution, should have been a DNA, to prove who the actual father of the child is. And then if you're okay with, if you still want to go on with me, fine. Then if you want to do otherwise, there shouldn't be a problem with that.
No, you see, the point about marriage is that until there's an official documentation of divorce, a party remains married. Of course, in terms of practicalization, or probably the pragmatic thing, when you are not together 4 or 5 years, everybody picks up relationship and what have you. Okay, so the reality is that legally speaking, that's why I have to be very careful, which I've said it in time past, that that you separated from your husband or that your wife does not mean by that separation itself it's an indication of divorce. So the wife that you separated from for 25 years can still come back at the point of your death or come and claim the right of your wife. Why? Because there was no official divorce. Because what the law will look at really is that we separated for purpose of mutual interest, but we're not divorced in terms of legality of it. So that marriage really is still extant. That marriage still survive.
It's a day.
It's a day. It never come out. So although we not date together, we know they do what man and woman they do. So the fact that we don't do those things does not mean say. Yes, just like the fact that you say you don't see your father for 30 years, no mean say you know your father. That's the thing. That's the issue about marriage. So once you are separated, in this case, I think he didn't tell me how long, but I think what the judge was a separation for a while. He was picking up a life, and he was trying to pick the life, had a relationship with somebody else. Around the same time, the man came back with his people, reconciled, and they went back home together. Only for her to discover that she's pregnant, but she's not sure who got the belly. So what I'm trying to say is that by that fact, if the husband will not have a choice whether to say I'm divorcing you because adultery is a basis of divorce, and even if there's no proven case of adultery, but having child for somebody else, apart from that spouse, it means that there was an adultery. So that means so on that basis, the child will not be called bastard in the sense of, because then in law in Nigeria, no child can be termed a bastard or illegitimate. Every child has equal rights under the law. The worst case is that the father takes the child and then the marriage goes on.
Every child has equal rights. Even those where their parents or their mother are done for road, they can't pick them. And
then the child, because the basic law about child, a child is from the 0 to 18. Yeah. It has a right under the law, and that's why even when you are abusing a child, because there are levels of abuse when they're before 12, for 16, 18, there are categories as is considered, and so you have to be very careful about those things that you call the child a bastard, whatever. You can sue because
who can sue?
The child can. I mean, the way it is, some of us don't have that right. He can get, because you don't call the child a bastard. really.
Master is the only thing I will say when the pikin fit sue me.
Okay.
You mad, you dey craze. No, because plenty parents go sue plenty.
But you know, the thing is that it's only in Nigeria that, or probably in Africa. Let me put in Africa generally, that children are more. It's normalized. Abusing of children is normalized. You know, but I mean, you don't. There are some things you don't say even to your child.
Even don't talk and say if you grow up, you say would they miss those moments.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just normal.
I know. When they go take slap with you for money,
Yeah.
you know. So the charge. Now the next one is my brother's new wife is maltreating the children of the former wife. Can I apply to court for the custody of children independently? I like that question because it made me to crack my brain. To save the children, you know. Number one, let me first put like this. But those of us who are looking at me, when we say probably you get another marriage and you inherit other children. Or even you go take another child, say you want to take them use as maid. Things have changed, you. You can hear very low. Because the way it is now, the rights of children are becoming heightened every day. So when you take a child, or probably your former, your spouse children from another marriage, you are sending them to go and sell this one, do that one. It can be a basis for criminalization. Let me say, nowadays police will go carry people say you abuse this child. The things they do for our own time when we say normal thing. Nowadays don't be normal thing again. No, say somebody steal soup, steal meat for your soup. That time, in fact, that time you get one person I know like this small. In child break Lucozade bottle. You say that child make you go buy Lucozade. Child come to play for road. You come break, not be in child now, even like grandchild. Break the Lucozade bottle. Do one time say, I go take this bottle, scratch your body today. And you do am.
Which year be that?
Nah, you paid.
Wow. Don't. You do am. And that one.
And it goes scot-free.
Of course, that time now, okay. For that time. Unless. So nowadays, if you try like counting, if you they say,
what is the person that my picking? Emilo, na me born am. Emilo be.
It no matter. It no matter. Okay, make I tell you that time. Make everybody hear me very well for house. You know, by law, there is what they call the fundamental right, the fundamental freedom, human rights, for freedom to have right to life. You have the freedom for right to life. So people say that's what some people say. Once you don't conceive a child, once the child don't conceive and then they don't say this woman they pregnant. Some people talk say that pregnancy ain't they separate from the woman. Okay, now the woman they carry the pregnancy, but that child inside ain't get a right to life. Nobody supposed abort them or come them except say the woman did for danger or something happen. We say that child, but say that child don't get right to life because now individual. Now you just be like a carrier of that individual. And once
what if the pikin don't reach like 6 months? The woman say she don't tire. She no want pikin again.
Now for some culture from some country. You know if that about
it's a crime.
It's a crime.
You cannot say you are tired.
No, if you are not crime.
What it don't make you do? Wait, done like that.
Once you even don't confirm, say you don't get pregnant, you cannot touch. So, not to mention, so when the child can't calm down, the moment the child calm down like this, the child don't get independent life, and so anything we do to that child is the guy that the government has the right to protect that child. That's why for those countries, they will tell you say the child. They even teach them for school the number to call in case they are abused at home. 911. Because they say that because they talk say that the child ain't get a right. You get right.
Yeah.
So that's why I say now my child I go beat you, I go kill you. That one no they work. No they work now again.
Matter of fact, now stranger self they call to report.
Yes now. No they work again. So make you try change. That's one and another level that because we're talking about failed marriage and children, but this one now failed marriage, the woman, the new wife, they maltreat the. So if you come and arrest you, if you arrest you, take you go.
If you arrest the wife,
the
new wife, okay.
Seriously,
okay.
And it don't happen for Lagos now. It don't have, in fact, so many times we say the new wife, they patrol the children. One neighbor will just call OPD, I mean what they call them. They can't carry the wife can't do inside television or newspaper. They talk, say, nobody say, me now.
Just happen.
So make it try. And for the husband, I bet once you are trying to remarry, make you take care of the needs of your child, because now, even by reason say you condone them, and most men they know, because when they go work for money, the wife will do love for those children. When the women don't come on like this,
you show herself.
You can't show the children herself. When the man they come out for everything, you don't dress them. Do them very well.
And not just the people don't fit up.
For Nigeria, I'm not for Lagos where they this thing never popular. They never let us know, because if they really want let children know, say you have the right to get the beat where your pale go beat you, your call from school, like you told me, they tell us from school, and then when they give us customer care number or speed dial, because when you and they call them, just they rock off for house, because you know, but I think say for school. Because like Bolanda, you see them for school say your mom can't do this to you. Your mom, but if we don't say want to do it, one may stay. More start from school. More they tell with children say your father cannot do this to you.
Somehow me or no
support. Why? Because if you say they go mismanage them or what?
If at all, no, me too.
Right,
like now they make me fear. You come here and they talk and say if at all are born millennium Peking, I go still flog them.
Of course.
Some kind of things they came, but now they make me fear.
See, really, I believe say Cain no be. I no believe in flog. I believe in flogging, not that I don't believe in flogging. But then for me, I feel say no be the right way to correct a child. Because first off, you need to study the kind of Peking way you get. Now, like my own younger brother, he tells me to my face, maybe because he go military school and he don't get so many experience. We guys do with cane and flogging and all of that. So when you beat him, he will tell you that when you are tired, you will drop the cane yourself. He believes more in talking. So I believe parents should learn to communicate with their child, even if not be the woman born am. As a man, where you should learn to communicate with your child. Okay, fine. How are you relating with your stepmom? Do you understand? So with that, you feel know when the woman they maltreat your child, because these days now outsiders now actually, because there's a case on ground like this where we say the woman they always beat the pikin like say tomorrow no day. And they been reach school one of those days. They find out, say, if they touch the pikin body like this, they shake. Don't touch me, don't touch me. The people go, they wonder, like, what is going on? Why can't I touch you? Now they open her clothes. As they open the clothes now, they find out, say, the body was messed up with different beatings. Do you understand? Now, the child could not talk. And the father did not know, because most time he's always busy. And like you said, anytime when the man come out, they say, my baby, I've been taking care of my baby sis. You go don't make baby or baby say, you know, go even know, say the pikin don't go through that kind of thing. So, for me, I believe communication goes a long way. No matter how busy you feel you are, you should be able to communicate with the child, because the pikin will feel relate more with you. But then when you beat the child, he or she gets used to the beating. What will happen?
See, I see that kind of thing. Make I take true.
Because for me, I feel say Cain they make pikin dey hard himself.
I hear you. Say Cain they make children harden. I hear you. I also think say sometimes the children, I don't know whether they get one back.
Or they beat them for their hand instead of like
somehow children. I know Sabi. I'm not be child. Some children.
Some situation. Talk no fit talk.
I beg.
Slimmy.
I hear.
You don't see pikin.
I hear.
Talk to some pikin they don't know book.
I hear.
And they use mouth.
They had. You cannot use maths to say Chukudi 20 times 2. He not gonna. But if you hold that cane, you're not flogging. Hold
just
that
holding
cane. He cram it, He go to Sabian, but only mouth. Chukudi, I'm telling you cannot do this. Some situation there.
Just use that.
You have to use math.
Just use. But not that you not beat my child from head to toe.
No, me I'm talking about me as a mother, not as a teacher. No, me of my own pikin. But you need to know when to talk to a child.
You know what I've noticed. Just as I said them. You know, even those people from those time, especially Nigerians or black ones, most times they are frustrated that they cannot touch the children. Them
over there, right?
They're very frustrated because they know that this child needs spanking.
Honestly,
and that's why sometimes when they bring them for holiday to Nigeria, from the airport, we hear slap.
I see they don't wait for that opportunity. Just like
I see one for inside internet. Black pikin, they tell him mama.
Okay, I think I said.
If they look him mother, shut up, mommy. you are not even looking at me. You are looking at me like this. So obviously you are this small. And you say, "Shut up, mommy." I should shut up. No, I'm sorry.
I don't know, but Nigerians are training for this. And obviously, you won't raise your child to be like that. This is Africa.
Maybe that's what you think.
No, you won't raise your child to be. I won't raise my child to be rude. And it's not like I won't flog. But I will not allow you flog my child because a whole lot now don't happen.
We are not
flog my pikin.
Me, I don't talk about school. Me, I'm talking about me as a
Even
parent.
personally, because out of anger, if you're not careful, they are just they go annoy you. That one is normal.
But you know,
and out of anger, you can misdo.
But you know those children because it's like talking about you raise your children like that. You know that's a culture that is pervading, just like trying to be a mom. A culture, even your friend. Probably just like you and your friend just chatted. Oh, gosh, my mom can bait. Your friend will go and tell the teacher that the mom of my friend.
No, they report my mother. I just mistake.
Who sent you?
Yeah, but I don't know. But the way the children they grow these days, we will see say something is wrong somewhere.
Yes,
something. Me personally, I have issue with when they tell a child go to the naughty corner. I'll go and stand.
I will not buy.
I am standing and facing the wall. What am I learning? How would I know that what I've done is wrong? Stand in the naughty corner. You just stand there. I'm sorry. How you want to train your child, you train your child. But me, I'm just saying, because right now, people will say, okay, don't touch a child. We don't need to do any children, they go. Somebody will see you as an elderly person, will still match you. That's the excuse. I don't know.
Well,
it's just, I don't know, this is the century anyway.
The people go become, we go here. People no go here, no go here.
Probably that's where the woman, but the woman might not think that is maltreating them. But I think I'm trying to raise children because
really?
So advice are some day that on obvious wickedness. For neighbors to help you shout now obviously. How you go wicked carry iron put for person body say the pikin go thief money.
But if you use blade, use and cut the pikin body.
Papa don't do anything. Pikin to be 15,000. Use scissors. I mean,
some people are just obviously
pikin body. No, that one is obvious. That's glaring.
And that's why even the men. That's why I say, please, when you're approaching failed marriage. Or your marriage, they don't do like sigi. Make you think about the children when I get.
Because at the end of the day, I didn't the receiving end.
Yes. Because sometimes, I mean, the one with last one I know, the man will not even do. The only thing they say because she in the condone, I'm saying wife they beating children like that, and there are about 3 children like that. That in the condone, and I can imagine that the man does not even know what's happening. He just believes that the woman was taking care.
Yeah.
So remember that can be an issue in your failed marriage. And now, criminal case for children, they small. I mean, you can go to jail, and it can spoil so many things. It can spoil your records. It can spoil your future in terms of. I mean, if they are asking you in a safe form to travel, have you ever been involved in a criminal case? If you say no, and the final say na yes, you don't. You don't catch many things. So that because of one failed marriage, you have like spoiled the rest of your future. So think very well. There are some things we say, even you get a lot to do, it will cost you a lot of money, and because you don't, prevent them from the beginning. And like we say, every parent gets the right to chastise and to control. It's just that the limits is what you have to know. Me. You see this 4 corner we get. Na serious.
Na problem.
So I've not been a worse for it. That's what I tell you. But nowadays, you say talk to the children. Too much film.
Jacob, calm down. Hello, good morning, Jacob.
Good morning.
Now you can go on with your question or contribution.
Yes, I want to know whether adultery is a crime.
You want to know if adultery is a crime?
No, adultery is not a crime, sir. Okay, in Nigeria, adultery is not a crime. But within the context of marriage,
yes,
it is an...
Yes, I want to know, under our criminal law jurisdiction, I want to know whether adultery is a crime.
No, adultery is not a crime, sir.
Okay, it's not a crime.
It's not a crime.
Okay.
But could be a basis of divorce.
Okay. Thank you.
But I think in the northern part of Nigeria, not the Sharia, adultery is a crime.
Thank you.
So if
Alright,
you
thank
commit
you.
adultery in the north, under the Sharia,
It's a crime.
the crime. But in the south, I'm not sure it's a crime.
Okay.
You know.
Right, sir, you get one question I for like ask you, but I will just take you off a bit from this one where they talk about this one because that matter is everywhere of a couple. I don't know where still don't see them where they been catch them. They were torchlighting each other. They been married couples though. They were torchlighting each other inside their car. So what the community's been come out now, why is this car moving and nobody is driving it? What is going on here? Now they peep, they see say na husband and wife. They were doing it inside the car. They naked them, beat them until police come intervene. So yesterday somebody come tweet at the police, come ask them, say is it a crime for couples to have sex in public? The court say no. He says it's not a crime. So I want to ask now, is it a big deal? Is it a crime for couples? Okay, it's ishing us here, want to do it here.
As far as they're not disturbing my peace.
You can there can be indecent exposure. I understand.
Inside the car.
No, inside like okay for public. Yeah, but inside your car where you have created some kind of privacy for yourself. But you know, there is I can probably just like police not saying.
Yeah.
But if it's like you put the car, you can't no get tint. You just now open car, open the white glasses. I can't do that kind of thing for road. And say school children they pass by. That one is an exposure. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not believing.
Okay.
Like
We're
say
not
like,
the same most spice of our life.
Like say-
Spice of your
no,
bedroom
you
life.
can.
Make it
I
spicy.
believe that can be done, but in a condition whereby you at least gives yourself some sense of privacy.
Okay.
Privacy is there. It's just that it's just now coming to pry.
Hey, what's in the picture? Right, so what's in the car up and down?
That's true.
This is a car that is parked. Don't
They
they feel the movement? Maybe
If they feel the movement, okay. Like say for now, like school day for now here, you can't put car where be say the car no be
and a
tinted.
saloon car, long car, no
No
be
be
OJ,
tinted.
papa.
Open white glass. You can't say they do touch top whatever they go for that place. As school children they pass, I go expect them to know.
they don't look right.
I'm like decent exposure. I don't agree that one.
Hello, Jack. Hello, Jack.
I don't
Right,
know.
so I don't like in this area.
Hello, Jack.
It's
Good
all right.
morning.
Oh,
Jack, we're sorry. Do call back if
back.
you can.
So that one, but say the car they tinted well. She like when they see say the car they move.
They move.
They can't they
like this.
So that kind of case now is a case.
That will not be case.
But it's not advisable.
Because you have done everything possible. It's just that those children are being children.
They are being children.
Yeah.
That's
As in the word, that. Okay.
So now for the other thing I want to talk, I don't get that question here. Somebody called me about the issue of adoption.
Yeah, I think you got it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, adoption of children. Now, there's nothing wrong with adoption. Probably you want to say in your marriage you want to adopt, or and sometimes even after the marriage, some people have even adopted. Just to say, okay, I couldn't have child in that man. So there's nothing wrong. Just that the process is long-winded. There used to be a time when
Sir, what is
JJ,
JJ? Hello,
right?
Jane. Hello, Jane.
Yes, good
Good
morning.
morning. Please speak up a bit for us, Abeg. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. All right, you get question, right?
You are talking. Yes, you are talking about couples having fun in the car. Don't they have house?
I wonder too.
How will that one be decent enough for them? Can they control their urge? That
Abi?
must be done on the road.
Abi?
Just like animals, goats and anything that can, whenever you feel the urge, you start it and do it anyway. They should have been able to control themselves until they get to their house, even though they are couples.
But they couldn't.
Having it on the road is wrong. And it's immature of them.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I agree. That one should be very concerned because like I've said, it's very difficult to know when it is. Of course, there's no law that says that you must do it in a particular area, but there's a law that talks about indecent exposure and sometimes assaulting of public interest. In fact, there was a case in I think it was US or so recently that 2 men were arrested and prosecuted and even because they belong to another institution where they're not supposed to be. They were doing such things. Actually, even though the society whereby they allow such homosexuality, whatever, but what they did was that they did it in the open, in the car, and the car had no tint.
No roof, nothing.
No, had roof, but no tint. So people were passing by, and they saw, and because of that, they said, "Look, that was an indecent exhibition." Because somebody called police and said that these two, what they are doing is like children are passing with their parents, and then you can call it passion.
That one better, say they say person. But for if I call nothing, my neighbor they disturb me. The local go talk say, "Vero will be your neighbor."
Music.
And if after that, my neighbor will come find me, beat me. That be the issue. They'll find me, beat me because I report say something bad. But I feel I don't know.
There are some things you don't get away with.
Okay, so about adoption, so it's very possible that anybody can adopt, but just as the process is so winding, and many times the people that are in charge are very sensitive about the interest of the children. So usually it takes.
Hello, Sylvester. Sly, good morning.
Please, I want to contribute to the program they are doing on there.
Good morning. Please go on.
I want to say something about the raising of children these days.
Okay.
I think telling people that they should not beat their children, I don't think is proper, because you cannot deal with your children every time. So whenever they do something that is wrong, so are you going to be there to correct them? I can hear one of your presenter said that I cannot allow anybody to be my children. What about if we are not there?
Now you didn't get it well. I didn't say I cannot allow anybody to beat my child. I say I not go let you flog my pikin anyhow, like beating my child on the head.
Okay.
So you can always beat her on her palm or flog her on her buttocks, but then beating her all over her body, it's a no for me. So there's a difference.
So my contribution is just that you can allow anybody to beat your children. Hello?
Yeah, sure. We there with you. Go on.
You can allow anybody to beat your child, as in correct them in a good manner, as in not like abusing them, but correct them. And nowadays, I advise mothers and parents that they should use cane on their children. Not that using cane on them will create fear in them. They can respect elders in the society. That's my contribution.
All right,
thank you very much, Sylvester.
Thank you.
I don't know. People will call me old school, but seriously, I guess some people. I was flogged, and honestly, sometimes
but you know the funniest part, you don't look like that father where they beat speaking.
I did beat too.
Serious?
But between say, I know say beating no be the best things. But I don't spare rod because
exactly. I wouldn't
because for me, sometimes it says 1,000 things than even
honestly.
But I know, Barrister, even if you're going to beat your child, you wouldn't beat your child anyhow. Or how do you beat? You beat, okay, because you want to correct a child, you beat them from the beginning.
No, I let them go call police for me. I beg.
That's what I'm saying now. So it's just the fact. Nobody saying you shouldn't beat. Barrister, nobody saying you should not beat. But then when you have to beat a child for head, and then the head can't start to the bleed, or you beat them for, do you understand?
Yeah.
Just avoiding some things. There are places you can beat a child. I'm not sure any picking day for our own age, maybe say experience beating. For me that went to a military school, I was stand everywhere. I was flogged everywhere. But what I'm saying is, you beat the pikin for a place, okay, fine. You beat them for palm, you beat them for. But when you can't beat pikin, they can't use plaster. Or you can't use this thing they take. No.
To my future children, I'm gonna beat you.
I'm not in support of that.
Children. If you can hear me, I will beat you now. Hello, Drogba.
Are you serious? Drogba. All the way from Chelsea.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Very well. How are you doing too?
I'm fine, though.
All right, then.
I have an issue here, honestly.
Okay.
The issue of having our children doing child labor. As in, you can see here in the north, you see children taking care of their parents. Somehow very funny. Imagine a child going out to sell things to come and provide food at home. That is seriously unacceptable. So I'm kind of calling so that you people should concentrate on such issues. Because here, honestly, it's not funny. You can see children going out, small children, a child of 3, 4 going out to sell things.
To go and take care of father.
Bringing money home for the parents to feed them.
I agree with you, Robert.
Very, very not funny. Hello?
Robert,
Yes.
I agree totally with you. That's a clear case of child abuse.
Yeah. Okay.
Clear case of child abuse. What Robert said. Let me read for those of us who dey for house. Say the law talk say when you get children, you are supposed to provide for that child, not be the other way round. And I want because I want everybody to listen to what the law talks about that aspect. You know, it's a criminal case. Say the criminal code, particularly in the North, provide that it's the duty of the head of the family who has a child under the age of 14 years to provide the necessaries of life for such a child, and is there to have caused any consequences which may result in the life or health of that child, you know, by reason of omission to or omission to perform that duty. What that means is that it's wrong for you. Even hear me, everybody, with it, because sometimes I've seen it. Man and woman get married, but they have children from that marriage. The woman talks say, "I mean, they provide for your baba, because of that, I don't feel provide for you too, you child of the other wife. So make they go bring money to support the house. 12, 10, 9, 8. They sell groundnut for inside traffic.
Yeah.
See, those things can put you inside begay, serious begay. So it's an abuse, total abuse.
Yes, sir. You know what? I go appreciate if you won't treat this topic
I think it's like a
one day or
topic on
something.
its own.
Yeah.
But I am indifferent about this, Barrister. They say to every rule there is an exception.
Yeah.
What is the exception to this? Because sometimes I no be everybody go cool down bump pikin, won't make pikin suffer. Now what if in the case one of the parents don't die? You know, and for the first for some years the other parents they try and send the pikin go school. Then maybe the mother or the father, the person where they are alive, can't get one kind illness, sick one kind sick. It can't affect the pikin. Now what if the person not tell the pikin say my child go and say something? The pikin no dey lie him like that. When you know say mommy I want to shop because the mommy don't worry. What is the exception to this? Not be every parent they pursue child to go out go say.
In that sense, she's just a failure of our society. In that sense, that is in this society, supposed to get that campaign supposed to get support. We can go allow that child to go out because regardless of that, you know, for other countries, once they see that child outside, they go seize that child.
The child, yeah.
Put them for foster home.
Yes.
Then come face the mother who is sick because you cannot use your sickness to still abuse the child or to allow the child to be abused.
That means you know they're capable to take care of the
exactly.
child.
So your health. So that means you have to take that child away from you. Take and go foster. Somebody go look for a parent. Somebody who can take care of that child and what have you. Because it's not acceptable. I did it. So, you understand me? It's not acceptable. And I can say, you know, me when they here, I don't hawk. I hawk plantain for area. All the things where I know for my life. Now that age where we say when you are going around the street, you know, go to see so many things where we say you are not even supposed to see.
Yeah.
Sure.
Even as a boy, don't talk about as a girl. So when you're exposing, I mean that one are basis of criminality. Basis. So but I say because police don't face that kind of thing. But nobody stop police for one day to come and say, okay, now that's what you do. And so make everybody listen to me very well. When your child is small, try all your best to help that child. But if you cannot help that child, even when that child is going out to go and do what you can do, don't make it like it's a given.
So, please just hold on.
Yeah. Sunny, good morning.
Good morning, Vino.
How you doing?
Fine.
All right, please go on.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Oh.
Thank you for calling, Sunny. Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to contribute on this couple one corner something.
Okay, inside motor.
I one corner. Okay.
Honestly, for me, completely,
No.
it's a no, a capital no.
No.
Yeah, completely. You know, morally it's wrong. Not only that, even this issue of maybe couple on the street holding hands, you know, you are provoking others. Then talk more of doing it in the car. I think it's completely.
Sandy, please,
unacceptable.
how would a couple holding hands outside, how do they provoke others? More learn how, like how?
Well, like the legal man is there. He talked about indecent,
Exposure.
Exposure.
different, different perspective. What you feel like maybe for you,
Yeah.
others
Okay.
like this car stuff, man, they will
Okay.
feel that it's nothing.
Okay, I think I know
You
where you're coming
understand?
from. Yeah. All right.
Therefore,
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Sandy.
Then the issue of failed marriage, I think basically the major thing in a marriage thing should be communication. When there should be adequate communication between couples.
Yeah.
I believe the home will grow better
Yeah.
for it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. Thank you.
So, Sonny, thank you very much. So I want that's kind of question you asked me that there's an exception.
Yeah.
A person who is a parent or guardian of a child under the age of 12 years who willfully and without any lawful reason deserts the child and leave the child without any means of support is liable to punishment under the law. So
Without reason, any
yes,
reason.
yes,
So
but that-
if there is a reason.
if there's a reason, okay, you're very sick, you cannot do.
Yeah.
They can allow you to say, okay, that reason, but that is also a suggestion that
you
you are
cannot-
incapable of
Of
taking that
taking care of
child.
the child.
That's why
Okay.
people are saying that, probably sometimes Nigeria is a failed state or whatever, because all those things should be part of the a given for the children. Once your parents
When you
cannot
see
take
them
care of
just-
you,
Yeah.
somebody should, the government should take it their responsibility
To
to
take
take
care
care of
of.
you, so that you are not exposed. You are not selling granite, one bottle of 2 bottles of granite
Yes.
around 12 o'clock. If I see it
You're
on the
supposed to
road,
be in school.
I mean 11:30 at night. I'm not going to school.
Wow.
No.
I see it around my area there,
No.
still holding granite. If I go see them,
Nice.
they hold it to
Yeah,
themselves,
and
hold
they're
that,
sleeping.
and they're sleeping. Because if they go home and they didn't bring that money, somebody will
So as a matter of fact, there was a night we were coming from an event. I think myself and she and the picking. I don't know what happened. The granite. I think somebody been hit her. So all the bottles been break. In the night, she was on that bridge, that Ojuelegba bridge. She was crying. A girl. So I was forced to pay for the old granite because one, I don't get that in. I not there enough, to like take her into my arms. Like, okay, fine, let me take care of you and all of that. But then I had to pay. I said, why are you crying? She said, because of the granite. I said, go home. Say she go out. Now die. So I had to just myself show and I think the driver, we guys contribute to make sure say she leave that place at that hour.
That's criminality too.
So you can imagine that kind of
And funny enough, people will do this in much. I not go lie. Sometimes now people for those uniformed work, where they inside their bags. I mean, they do that kind of thing. Probably the man the officer don't marry another wife. The old wife of that way pursue. And then they carry that thing, and so the things no fit affect them. But it is really well. So thank you very much. Probably next week I have to start another topic.
Yes,
Okay. It's such a nice thing.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good.
And enjoy the preparation.
Okay.